Aldermen for December 5th, 2023. If you'll join me in prayer and pledge, please. Most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, as we come to you tonight, we thank you for your blessings, your mercy, and your grace, Father. We ask that you would lead us, Father, and guide us in the wisdom to do the service of the citizens that we represent. We ask, Father, that you would bless all of our employees, Father, our military, Father, our leadership throughout our country. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Patrick?
Here.
Pete?
I'm here.
Donald?
I'm here.
Mikey?
Here.
Timmy? Okay, Timmy is on the phone tonight. Angie?
Here.
And Angie's on the phone, as y'all could hear. So, and then Bernie.
Present.
All right, we have full quorum tonight, thank God. Also, thank everybody for being in attendance tonight. We appreciate y'all. And I know, and I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. We've got some special guests with us tonight from Leadership Gulf Coast, 1998 graduate, and you may be up here at one time. So congratulations to y'all for your participation. Don't worry about the homework. They don't grade it. So, Donald, you got...
No, I just wanted to, Sawyer Walters brought the group here tonight, and I want to commend him, and I want to thank you guys for your effort, because this is definitely a bonus that people don't see for the Gulf Coast. These are people that take their own personal time above and beyond their daily jobs to ensure that the coast becomes a better place to live. So I want to thank Sawyer, and I want to thank every one of y'all for taking that effort. And we do appreciate it, and it does go, we do see that effort that is made. So thank y'all very much.
Thank y'all. Leadership Gulf Coast is a big commitment from these individuals. Their time, I'm sure a lot of them would rather be home with their significant others and their children. But it is a great thing to participate and an opportunity to see the Gulf Coast as it works from one end to the other. So thank y'all. All right, we'll move on now. We have public hearings. We have 4 tonight. The first one is 612 Wright Avenue, assessed to the Long Beach Trust. Motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Thank you, Angie.
All right, so the Mayor and Board of Aldermen at a regular meeting duly held on November 7th, 2023, did cause to be sent via certified mail electronic receipt requested notice of hearing to Long Beach Trust at P.O. Box 5336 in Moss Point, Mississippi, as the same appears of record on the Harrison County 2022 official real property tax rolls. As of the time of this, the notice had not been picked up. The notice of hearing was posted on the subject property of 612 Wright Avenue, Mississippi on November 8th. And at the building office, 201 Jeff Davis Avenue, and the Long Beach Public Library, 209 Jeff Davis Avenue.
Okay,
These are pictures of the property today.
Photos are.
We do have some individuals from that property, Mayor, that are here.
Okay. And y'all are here to speak for, or
We're the ones, yeah.
My name is Charles M. Powell, Jr. I am the agent for the trust. These folks, they live in the property, and we have a contract with them to, for buying the property. I spoke with Ms. Kimmy earlier today, and I told her that I just found out about this meeting on Friday night when I was in Atlanta at a school, okay, and I didn't get back until Monday morning. And as soon as I got this letter, I called them and told them to get with the program on cleaning this property up. So I'm going to ask the city council to please give me a little bit of grace. I did not know anything about this, and I will definitely make sure that this property is absolutely cleaned up. We do not want to be a bad citizen. We want to take care of this, whatever the city recommends.
How
For us-
how much time do you think you need?
Well, I don't know. I talked with Ms. Kimmy. I'm going to let you talk to them, but I'm going to just tell you this, that myself, I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that it is definitely taken care of.
Judging by these pictures, was the property
Yeah,
clean?
Sorry to interrupt, but go ahead. I think from what it was at the time that we got the complaints,
Yes.
the pictures that we see tonight, in my opinion, it is in compliance from
Okay.
what it was
Right, yes, sir.
at the time, so.
Well, and I will also say that if there's something that is not to the city's liking, I will do everything in our power to get it taken care of.
These
We
are all today.
definitely want to be good citizens of this community.
And if you wanted a copy of them, I brought pictures.
Can
of
you
what-
get over into the mic, hon? I'm sorry.
And if you wanted a copy of them, I brought pictures of what it looks like just shortly, within an hour before we came up here. So it's all been cleared out, cleaned up, the debris, everything's been cleared away. I'm not sure.
You said you have pictures of it?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you bring those forward? Because I've got one question on one of the pictures we have, and I
Looks
wanna-
like they were cleaning it.
right, I want to make sure
Yes.
it's done there.
I have a comment also.
Angie?
Yeah, I do have a comment. I do pass that property daily, and there is always debris taken and put by the ditch or across the road by a ditch. None of that debris needs to be put where any of it can fall into those ditches. It needs to be put on the south side of the property by the mailbox and away from ditches, because it's always there.
Okay, so when the city workers have come, we don't put anything across the street. That, across the street's not our property, has nothing to do with us.
Where did y'all dispose of your debris?
The debris is at the front right, or facing the house, the front left-hand corner. So the farthest front corner away from the house, in this first picture, Thomas, can you hand this back to him? It's gonna be this area, show him right there.
Loading this there.
Now, that is between, like, at the corner of two different ditches, but there's nowhere on the property that is where the city workers told us to put it.
Okay.
That is the end of a second driveway.
Yeah, and that is where it is it on your property?
It's on my property.
Okay. That's all I got, guys. Y'all got anything
I mean, that's
else?
where the city, that's where they've been coming to pick it up from, and where we were told to put it. But it does have a ditch here, here's the pile, and then there's a ditch here.
Okay, I need
Mr. Mayor, I move that we close the public hearing.
I got a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any other discussion?
None.
Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we deem this property within code, and we close this file.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second that the property is within code and ordinance.
I have a question, discussion.
Yes, sir.
Steve, this is good for a year? If it comes back, we can come back?
Only if we adjudicate.
I'm talking to Steve first.
What was that last part of your question?
Is it?
Good for a year?
Yeah, if they trash it back up, simple as I can be.
Yeah, we can bring it back before us and adjudicate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll have to go through the adjudication process.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir. That's
Okay.
what I was trying to explain.
Yes. Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, motion carries. You don't have to worry about it. Y'all did an excellent job. The pictures look great.
I want to tell the city council, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. I do want to make sure, I don't really go by there a lot, but I will be keeping an eye on it myself a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate the city council's time and patience with us. Thank you so much.
Sir,
Well, we
just
appreciate,
one note.
y'all taking care of it in
Yeah.
an efficient manner.
One note, if you don't mind, if that's what you want to do, that would be great, but if you would leave your information as a contact number with our building department, then we won't have to deal with this. He can call you directly if he gets a complaint.
I've got his name and number. I spoke with him earlier.
So we can cut this whole process out. So, thank you very much.
Thank y'all. All right, next we have 0 Via Don Ray, assessed to James A. Knowles. Motion and a second.
Motion.
Second.
All right.
All right. The Mayor and Board of Aldermen at a regular meeting duly held on November 7th, 2023, did cause to be sent via certified mail, electronic receipt requested, notice of hearing to James A. Knowles at P.O. Box 3989, Gulfport, Mississippi, as the same appears of record on the Harrison County 2022 official real property tax rolls. The notice was returned to sender. The notice of hearing was posted on the subject property at 0 Via Don Ray in Long Beach, Mississippi on November 8th by the zoning enforcement officer, Dale Stogner. The bulletin boards at City Hall, the Water Department, and the building office at 201 Jeff Davis Avenue, and the Long Beach Public Library at 209 Jeff Davis Avenue. And those are pictures taken today. I don't think there's anybody
Do we
here.
have anybody here, Mr. Knowles, anybody representing Mr. Knowles?
Motion to close.
Motion to close,
Second.
second. You got a second? Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adjudicate?
Second.
We got a motion second to adjudicate. Discussion.
Not fixed. Discussion is, nothing's been done, so.
Call for the vote.
That's it.
Well, yeah, I'll call for the vote then. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
All right.
Read it up.
108 Park Row.
All right.
The Mayor and Board of Aldermen at a regular meeting duly held on November 7th, 2023, did cause to be sent via certified mail, electronic receipt requested, notice of hearing to MSTREO LLC at 4747 Executive Drive, Suite 210 in San Diego, California, as the same appears a record on the Harrison County 2022 official real property tax rolls. This notice was delivered on November 13th, 2023. The notice of hearing was posted on the subject property of 108 Park Row on November 8th by the zoning enforcement officer, Dale Stogner, the bulletin boards at City Hall, the Water Department, and the building office at 201 Jeff Davis Avenue, and the Long Beach Public Library at 209 Jeff Davis Avenue.
Okay, a motion and second. Spread the
Motion.
report.
Motion.
We got a motion and a second. A couple of them to spread the report. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And those are the pictures going.
Yeah, we have the pictures going down the line.
Anybody here?
Do we have anybody here representing this particular piece of property in question?
Motion to adjudicate? Second.
Oh, we gotta close.
Close.
Close this.
That's what he
Motion to
meant.
close, and then have a second.
Second.
I got a couple seconds. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Angie.
Now you can go.
Motion to adjudicate?
Second.
Motion,
Discussion.
discussion.
Go ahead, Mikey.
Council,
Yes, sir.
we deal with this once a year. Is there any way we can condemn this and tear it down?
I don't know what you're looking at, Mr. Brown.
Park
I'm sorry.
Road building once every year.
So just for the public's knowledge, what Mikey Brown's talking about is, we've been dealing with this property for 6+ years. I've dealt with it on our last, in the last board, and now we're dealing with it again. And so when people ask out there, what are we doing about it? This is one of the problems that we deal with on a semi-annual or quarterly basis of adjudicating the city spending the money to fix this or make this property where it's safe, that vagrants don't get in it.
This is when it was owned by this.
So we started dealing with this in 2017. And I'm looking at 17, 18, 19, and last time I looked, we're in 23. You know, this is the thing that the city is dealing with on a day in, day out basis that I want to get people to understand that we're not looking the other way.
Can we-
It takes
Patrick?
Can
this
we
over and
get
over.
an estimate of demolishing the property?
First of all, we gonna have to see
You gotta
what,
see
You
legally
can
if we
proceed
can.
to do condemnation, condemn the property, and demolish it.
Thank you.
All right, when we get through closing this meeting, I'm gonna ask for that, and I'll ask it
Yeah.
under my heading.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Since it's not on the agenda to do that, I'll have to ask it under mine. But is this not the same building we had them board up and board the windows up?
Yes, sir.
yes.
And every board is off and every door is open.
And I'm sure if we
Windows.
called on our police chief, he could probably give us enlightenment on the number of calls they get about people in and out of that property. And it's ridiculous, bottom line.
And I think this is also the same group that we have dealt with on, I think it's 24 Pecan Drive. And we adjudicated, and Joe and them went in there and cleaned it.
Is this the same one,
Same
Mike?
people, ain't it? It's the same corporation out of San Diego, California.
Yeah.
We could see
So-
too.
MSTRO or
That's
something
it.
along that, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
TREO, excuse me.
let's roll.
My motion is to adjudicate.
Got a motion
Second.
second, adjudicate. Thank you, Angie. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, last one here is 333 East Fifth Street, assessed to John O'Byrne Sneed. And motion second.
Motion.
Second, sorry.
Motion second, and, Keeney?
Okay, Mayor and Board of Aldermen at a regular meeting duly held on November 7th, 2023, did cause to be sent via certified mail, electronic receipt requested, notice of hearing to John O'Byrne Sneed at 114 Driftwood Drive in Long Beach, as the same appears of record on the Harrison County 2022 official real property tax rolls. This notice was delivered on November 17th. The notice of hearing was posted on the subject property of 333 East Fifth Street in Long Beach, Mississippi on November 8th by the zoning enforcement officer Dale Stogner, the bulletin boards at City Hall, the Water Department, and the building office at 201 Jeff Davis Avenue, and the Long Beach Public Library at 209 Jeff Davis Avenue.
Motion second, spread.
Motion.
Second. Second. And it's been cleaned. Like it's clean. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Motion to close.
Second.
The motion second to close. Any other discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to deem this property within compliance.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second, a couple seconds for compliance. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Angie. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this brings us down to our normal agenda here. We have no announcements, presentations, or proclamations. Amendments to the municipal docket. I'd like to see if we can move up, let's see where it's at, insurance renewal under new business to unfinished business as a first item, as a 1A.
Motion.
We ain't done it yet. Keep your seat. Come on, Tom.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to move the insurance renewal from Brown and Brown up under unfinished business, and we'll call that 1A. Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll call you in a minute. All right, next we have approved minutes, Mayor and Board of Aldermen, November 21, 2023 regular, November 21, 2023 executive session. And I'm not sure about this last one, the November 28, 2023 work session, since we didn't have it. Do we need to go ahead and move forward with approving that, Counselor?
Not if it was,
They're
We
just
didn't
minutes that say that nobody was here,
That's all it says.
because we advertised it.
All right, so I'm going to keep them all three together. We have a motion and a second?
Motion.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we have approved a docket of claims number 120523. Motion and second, discussion. Got a motion, we have a second?
Second.
We got a second, do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we go to unfinished business, 1A, Brown and Brown Insurance. That's you, Tom.
Mayor, thank you. We have renewing, if you recall, all of our insurance renews October 1, but we do still have an accident policy on the rec department and liability that renews in December, and that's what's before you tonight. It's an annual renewal. It's up about $400 over last year. We have a few more participants, but basically we've had pretty flat renewal on the program.
Tom, real quick, can we address the issue of this still doesn't cover the baseball or
Bob has
I'll
some
address
news
that if
about
you'd
that.
like.
later? Okay.
I've spoken with the league over the last couple of weeks. They are actually removing themselves from the Babe Ruth charter. this year.
Okay.
They're actually having a meeting on Thursday night with all the local leagues. Most of the local leagues are pulling out of Babe Ruth this year. Most of them are having issues with it, like we had with the insurance policy. They're gonna come up with a solution. They're either gonna join another league or go independent for the next year or so.
Okay.
So that will eliminate any fees at the end of the year, and I've discussed this with Tom earlier.
Okay, thank you. Bob, I know you're on top of that all the time, so I appreciate that, without a doubt. So,
Right?
while I'm still there, I will recommend that we do approve this. Markel is still a very reputable company, still A-rated, and they've done well for us in the past, and being the fact that they're still willing to offer us a policy in this market, my recommendation is that, or my motion is to approve this policy.
All right, we got a motion. We have a second?
Second.
Got 2 seconds. We have any discussion? Hear none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Tom, thank
Tom.
you.
Mayor, just proves that Long Beach is the friendly city.
You go, bro. We out to please.
Put that on social media.
Yeah. That's what I'm
You're gonna
saying.
get burned up on that one.
Yeah.
All right, next on the agenda is number 1, inner bulkhead and southern quay. I wanted to talk about this tonight, and I was hoping to have someone here to help bring this all together. We feel like that, and I'm going back to Andacor, who has been directing this for us, that we're ready to go, and I don't know, there you are. Come on up. I didn't see y'all back there.
Guy now with his new beard.
Yeah. Can you explain to the board the concept of what we've been discussing about the funding, to make sure that we got the funding in line without interfering with Tideland's money at this time to move forward with doing the eastern wall along with the southeastern wall, and the cost, and there's a lot of integral parts that play in that to allow us to move forward. I just want the board to be totally informed on what we're doing.
So the eastern bulkhead repair came in about $4.8 million. The
Get on the mic if you don't, yeah, thank you.
the budget was about 2.7.
Right,
We proposed to use some of the Tideland funds to make up the shortfall. We also recommended to try to VE the southern quay and the inner bulkhead to try and make sure those stay within budgets. So that's basically what our recommendation was, and also using with Overstreet.
all right, and one of the things that we discussed at last meeting, I mentioned it, is that, we've had Hancock County that tried to take some funding that they'd got from legislators, and it was $5 million, and when they tried to move to somewhere else, and they rewrote the grant to get approved from legislators, they only got $2.5 million to use, didn't get the full $5 million after second route. And I want to make sure that the funding that we've got there is not pulled back from any of our sources, whether it be Tidelands or BP/GCRF or Go Mesa funds. Steve?
So we were discussing the Go Mesa funds, not reallocating those funds for the southern quay due to the time constraints, and they may end up removing those funds. So that's why we're recommending using Tideland funds.
So,
So are we saying do, obviously, southeastern bulkhead, which eastern bulkhead, and you're saying do the eastern bulkhead and the southern quay?
Right now, it'd be award the eastern bulkhead.
Okay.
It would all.
Right, so there was two options to do it. You could, like you mentioned, Mayor, to reappropriate funds to the southern quay and to do it that way. That's not what our recommendation is. Our recommendation is to use the Tidelands funds, which you have discretion to use in that location, so you wouldn't have to rewrite legislation and take a long process. It'd be something you already have available to you to do. It just depletes your Tidelands funds to where, obviously you're using it here and you won't have as much for other projects.
right.
But can I add to that and just say, we were dedicating these Tidelands funds to the harbor rebuild regardless.
Correct.
So So for layman's terms and, my third grade education, we're taking the extra money from the southern quay, and we're moving it over to the eastern wall where we receive most of our damage. Is that kind of what I'm hearing? Correct. Okay, so I just want to make sure that I'm repeating that so that it kind of opens some information to the public as well.
And we've,
Okay.
and I'll add something to that. We've had some of our titlings in the past that have been designated for certain projects. We've had to go back to
And ask.
Mr. Bennett and ask him to
Yes.
designate those.
And
for
there's a
free
time frame
use.
on it.
Right, and there's a time frame on it, and we really need to move forward with using this titlings money in fear that they may come back and say you're not using it.
Correct.
We may not have protection anywhere to keep us from losing those funds. So I think we need to really consider that to move forward.
Do you need a motion, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second? Any discussion, guys? Anything y'all need to ask? They're here. We
No,
need-
I appreciate that.
We have the contract ready to be issued for the eastern wall. We approved it, correct? Or we did not approve it?
You guys would need to authorize the award of the contract, and then I would prepare that, get it to the contractor for his execution, and it would come back to you guys as soon as possible at the next meeting for the mayor's execution.
Is that your motion, Donald?
Yes, sir.
That's another line item.
It's number 6 on
No,
here.
my
I got
motion
you.
right now
Okay,
is.
got
is
you.
where
I didn't
we're
see that. I'm
sitting
sorry.
at.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
to take their recommendation and move the money due to the time frame.
I couldn't remember where.
Mikey's trying to speed up the meeting
He's
here.
moving
Well, I
to number
want to speed
6.
this project up.
I understand. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%, sir.
Okay,
You know
so,
that.
so we've got a motion and a second to use our titlings fund to cover the gap. And we've got to understand, and I'd like to share this right quick. When we went and asked for money at the state, it was 3 years ago when we asked for it, we based everything on those current prices to do this. We even had a 10% extra added in there, and we're at 100% more of the cost here 3 years later. So we're going to run into this in every step of the way as we move forward with these funds we've received within the last 3 years to get to this point. And there's a lot of reasons why we can't. We had to do test pilots on one end. A great failure after months of waiting for them to build the test pilots for us. Had a failure on that. We're awaiting again, and it's been, when we do the last test piles, David?
I think it was in September, probably.
Right, that's when it failed, and we had to go back and recalculate, and it's because of a mud layer going into a sand layer where it just keeps going. We don't know where it stops. So it's got to be able to end in that mud layer. And there, you don't know until you drill, until you drive those in. So we're still waiting on time while inflation waits for no one. So we're still moving forward. We're trying to do things. So we just, everybody says we're not doing anything, but we are. So, all right, any more discussion on this? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all being here. All right, next we have cemetery services and fees. Set a work session on that. Have a motion and a second for a time.
Motion.
Second with discussion. So I have the information. I would like to set the work session, but just so you guys know, let me throw out what I'm going to share with the board. Currently, we're charging $500 for a plot. Biloxi, Ocean Springs, and Evergreen are completely sold out. Gulf Pines is $2,200. Live Oak, which is past Christian, they're charging $1,500. We haven't done an upgrade or an increase on this or even reviewed this since the early 90s, per my research. Now, I may be wrong on the date, but I really think I'm going to share these numbers with the board, but I think we need to do a quick work session and discuss these items and then come back and make a change to this ordinance by the first, not by the first of the year, around the first of the year. So that's my second with discussion.
Okay. Donald, on your information there, make sure that we got water city-owned cemeteries, and, you know, so we could clarify
And
that when.
that's on here.
Okay.
That is on
Yeah,
here.
be there.
There's additional fees that other cities charge that we do not charge. A lot of these cities are going away from weekend services, which I'm not saying I'm for it or against it, but they're going away from it because the funeral homes don't have the manpower. So the cities are having to bring in the employees and pay the overtime for it, and there's no additional charges for that. So this is kind of what I want to look at as far as buttoning up, you know, money that's going out and not being reimbursed. So.
That's hard, Seth. Okay. All right, we're gonna set a date on this. Well, I'm assuming we're gonna make it next year.
I would assume so. January 8th is your next off, I'm sorry, January 9th is your next off Tuesday? Is that good with y'all, or?
Let Mikey check his schedule.
As long as it's not at 8 AM, I'm okay.
Usually we do this at 5.
All right, everybody.
Mikey approves, so I'll make the motion that we do
got a
January
motion.
9th.
We have a second for January 9th, set this work session. Hold on, before we do that, let me see if I can tie up two of them here. Number 6, I think it is, no. 4. We've got a sidewalk ordinance review, no, not number 4. Where was it at, Mikey?
It's 4.
Yeah, sidewalk ordinance. I'd like to take that to a work session too. Can we set them both at the same time and have her?
I'll adjust my motion to, or my second.
No.
Let me back up.
Back up.
I'll
Amend your motion.
amend a secondary motion that we do not only the cemetery for January 9th, we also include the sidewalk ordinance for January the 9th for a public hearing.
5 o'clock.
I mean, work session,
Work
excuse
session,
me.
yeah, work session. Make sure that's
Sorry.
noted, work session.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to schedule a work session January 9th for cemetery services and fees and sidewalk ordinance. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next, we have amend public trust titling lease, and I would
Motion
like-
to strike that from our agenda totally until it's needed to be brought back up.
You all right with that?
Yeah, if it could be removed until further notice, there's some substantial problems with the amended
Yes, sir.
lease as presented from the secretary.
We got a second on that?
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? Thank you, Angie. Motion carries. Sidewalk, we tied in, number 4 under unfinished business was tied into the work session already. Next, we have Robert and Susie Zapp. Robert, if you or Susie or both of y'all want to come up, you can. I've got some information that I would like to share with y'all, and I don't know if you've gotten it already, but I'm going to get a motion in a second to discuss this before we move forward.
Motion.
Got a motion and a second already. The discussion is, and Overstreet and our engineer, and in conjunction with our engineer from Public Works, has put together what they reviewed in their inspection on this. And the Public Works is, I'm going to read this letter that we received. Public Works has performed a quick in-the-field inspection of how the existing drainage system functions near the property of Robert and Susie Zapp on Marcy Drive, at least near the address 116 and 118 Marcy Drive. They determined, number 1, a small culvert collects flow from the rear area yards on the west side of Marcy Drive and flows east towards Marcy Drive. That culvert crosses Marcy Drive and continues flowing east to the rear yard areas of the east side of Marcy Drive, where the culvert drains into a small swell in the rear yards. That's number 3. That small swell drains southward through the rear yard areas, eventually falling into a drainage system that crosses Highway 90. And they're saying, based on the above, it is our recommendation that the city not abandon that existing right-of-way as it currently contains the drainage infrastructure which collects and drains flow from multiple properties. And I'm sure that the board's going to have some questions and thoughts on this, and I do too. First I would have is the effectiveness of us draining water across properties, do we know if those backyards are ours? Does the city own those backyards or not? Have we looked at it that closely?
I have not looked at it closely to see if there's easements.
Well, I think that's a
right-of-way.
question that needs to be answered, is we shouldn't be draining our water on somebody else's property. I think, you know, if we haven't got a prescriptive easement or dedicated easement for drainage or sewer there, we need to be protective of what we've got going on there. I think the board needs to be in consideration of the other landowners, and is there a better route for us to drain that water off those properties to get it out without, you know, inhibited nib? So, I mean, that's a couple of questions I got. Of course, it's up to the direction of the board, the way they vote. But I think that's a question that needs to be answered before any decisions are made here by the board. Y'all got any input, any thoughts?
I agree. I think, needs to go back and let our engineer, both engineers, see if they can come up with a conclusion.
Can I say something?
Sure. Yes, ma'am, you sure can. I'm sorry.
Okay. I've been over there at the property, and there's a lot of growth that goes, you know, brush and growth that, hello.
So you may have to slam it in there. Mike, you may have to fix that mic.
All
There
right,
you
it's
go.
good. I got
You
it.
got it? Thank you.
Yeah, but there's a lot of brush and growth that goes back to the wrought iron fence. And then the property line is back there. So I don't know what you're talking about an easement. Is it after that fence? Because our property goes back to that fence.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's a easement on the backside of your fence there, where the property lines are, and I think it's incumbent upon us as a city to check this out and figure out where your property is, or, you know, are we diverting water from the west side of the street over to the east side and running it back to the back of y'all's property and draining it through your property to get to the inlet on Highway 90?
There is a ditch back there. It's not very deep, but that big rain we had last week, it was flowing down through there because I could see where the leaves had piled up that I got to rake out and clean up. But there is a ditch back there that the water drains on.
Right.
Yeah.
And we would never have no intentions of building anything on that property.
Just use it for yard. That's all we want to do.
And it may be, you know, at the pleasure of the board, it may be, this is going to have to be discussed again at our next meeting, obviously, because we've got questions that really need answers. The more we looked at it, the more questions we've asked of our department heads here is to be able to get this information back. You know, and y'all found only drainage, no water, no sewer.
Yes, sir, only drainage, and it looks like this drainage goes into Arbor Station's drainage and then and connects together and then continues south.
Mr. Mayor, can I offer maybe a solution for
Absolutely.
a group of us? Why don't, my recommendation is meeting the property owners, myself and David Ball, or you, or whoever.
We're
Okay.
suggesting you roll.
Yeah, okay. Well, and I don't mind, but let's put boots on the ground,
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes at the max, you know, and look at it and see if we can't come up with a solution, and then come back and report to, instead of us going, well, over here to the left, there's a tree. Let's work it out with you guys face to face and go from there. How's that sound?
There you go.
There you go. Joe, you have anything going on tomorrow? All right.
Tomorrow's pretty booked up. Thursday's a little better for me. Are they gonna be
Okay.
here Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday's fine.
Thursday's great for me.
All right.
Yeah, Thursday. I can do it Thursday.
Okay. If you will.
And us three can just meet
Yep,
there.
yep.
That's fine.
If you will,
David,
before you leave out tonight,
bring
if
through
you'll
on the break.
leave Joe your number, and we'll set up a time.
I got
We'll
your
we'll walk the ground, and we'll make this happen.
And we want to thank the board for your time.
No, I think it's just, that's the wise decision to do. So, Mr. Mayor, I motion that we table this until we have time to meet with the property owners and come up with a good solution.
Second.
Second.
I got a motion in a couple seconds to table this until we get each a solution that will work for us all. And, all those in favor, aye?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate your patience. All right, next we have award Eastern Bulkhead WC4 Trucking. A motion and second for discussion.
Motion.
You got a second?
Second.
All right, got a motion and second discussion. David, I think Mikey was hitting at this a while ago. Can you expand on what the questions were that he was referring to?
I think what was being requested is if we're going to move Tideland's funds around, can we go ahead and award this to WC4? And if you guys move forward that way, we'll prepare the contract and get it over to him for execution and grabbing his bonds and insurance and that sort of thing.
All right, and we
Motion to-
also, we got a motion and second to move forward.
To approve? Okay.
Yeah, we got a motion
You got
second
it
to
to
approve already. But we've got to make sure we're working with Andicor to make sure they review, and in my talking with them, they feel like they may be, not a great deal of money, maybe $40,000-$50,000 of savings in some areas. And we need to make sure we talk to them about that.
Okay?
Okay? All right, we got a motion and a second to award the bid. What was the total on that, 4 million something?
Yeah.
It's 4.8.
It's
I think it was 4.8, but I can't.
4.827.
Okay, that was it. I was pretty close. I was 2.7 off.
Just want, so that we don't foresee any issues with that. That Tidelands is already appropriated to use for this, so that's. Okay.
It's in the bank.
Good.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. All right, got a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. New business. We've done one insurance renewal. We moved it up. Next, we have tri-party agreement. Motion second for discussion.
Motion.
Got a motion?
Second.
Got a second. Discussion.
I would like to say, I apologize for not being able to attend the last meeting. My reception was bad in Tennessee, and I was unable to hear or speak, so I do apologize for that on my part. I would like to say I have done some due diligence on this myself. I did talk to owners of businesses on Jeff Davis, explained what a tri-party agreement is, and the concerns were that they thought real estate taxes were tied to this. I assured them that this does not have to do with real estate taxes. This is only a request for a sales tax abatement. Once that was cleared, the businesses that I spoke to that were mentioned last time were on board. The concern of one said, I've not asked for anything. I don't like for other people asking anything, but I'm not opposed. One wanted to make sure foot traffic would be coming, because anytime a new business comes in, that can only help other businesses. And a hotel will bring in foot traffic. I wanted to say that I did call the developer and ask questions to get my concerns answered. I don't think that the sales tax has been properly explained, though. Sales tax is 7% in the state of Mississippi. Long Beach receives 18.5% of that 7%. A sales tax abatement for this hotel, assuming they would make $500,000 in a year, the sales tax abatement on that amount is $6,475. We pay more to cruising the coast and other things than that sales tax. I wanted people to understand that 7%, the city does not get that. It is a percentage. And it's that percentage that the hotel is asking for. Let me see. I feel like this is a business opportunity. I feel like it's going to bring in growth and other opportunities for our city. And I just wanted to say that. And I also did once again want to apologize for not being able to speak at the last meeting.
All right, thank you, Angie. We got any more discussion?
Yes, just one comment, Mayor. I am not going to go on a tangent. I've done that twice. I just want to say one thing. Donald made a compelling argument 2 weeks ago. I respect the argument he made. The question was posed to me at that time, or maybe he just brought it back to memory, that yes, I personally did vote for this back in February, and I don't think I had a chance to respond or answer, not to
No, go ahead.
Donald cut me off.
You're
but
good.
my only comment is that yes, I did in February. However, I did not foresee a tax increase passed on to the citizens at that point in time, and that's all I wanted to say.
And I've seen a bunch of good comments come out of this in regard to the tax abatements. I do think, as a board, and I've talked to a lot of the people that are sitting in here, not the people in the back, but most of the people in the front, the city does need to do a better job of defining areas for tax abatements. I know I've shared with some of you some plans Gulfport did. Gulfport, Hattiesburg, some of these bigger cities have put in for EPA grants, and they come in and basically tell you the economic impacts. I've seen a lot of comments as far as it's where it's supposed to be located downtown. I do think we need to do a better job of defining areas in Long Beach that would benefit, and maybe they benefit the same, maybe they benefit different, but I do think going forward, we definitely need to get a better plan with these tax abatements and have a better definition of exactly what areas are going to be included and how that's going to look. And, that's between the property tax, sales tax, all that. Definitely we can kind of simplify and explain better so that even we understand it better, the process going forward. But other than that, that's about it.
All right, we got any more comments? Any more discussion?
No.
I've got one thing, and I'll reflect off of what Patrick just said. These grants are done, and I agree, we need to have a defined section, but the developers pretty much defined where they're going to go, high-traffic areas. They're not going to go out to Commission Road and do this. They may go out to Klondike or maybe southern part of Klondike, southern part. I don't know. But this corridor is our main corridor. I can understand them making that decision to want to be there. It's neither here nor there. I say that because we need to define an area of expected growth and where we will want to allow this to occur from, in the future. And I would like that maybe at our next board meeting, we put this on the agenda for a work session to move forward. Any more thoughts or questions?
Mr. Mayor, I call for the vote with a recommendation to you that we do a roll call vote.
Roll call.
Knowing that this is a hot topic for us and it's split.
All right.
I recommended, sir.
Okay. All those in favor, we're going to do a roll call. Patrick?
Aye.
Pete?
No.
Donald?
Aye.
Mike?
No.
Tim? Aye. Okay. That was an aye from Tim? Okay. Okay. Angie?
Aye.
Bernie?
No.
All right, what we got?
4-3, aye.
4-3. 4-3, aye. Okay. All right, we'll move forward. Next on the agenda, motion passes. Let me get where I was at here. Update Lang Avenue eviction. Motion and second for discussion.
Motion.
Second, somebody?
Second.
Okay. All right. Turn my hearing aid up on that side.
Getting
All right, we
feedback
got a
over
motion and second discussion. Mike, I think you had some information on that. You want to discuss it, or do you need to, do we need to hear from him, or y'all want to just go by papers?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Unless the board.
I think-
I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
No, I mean, I'm fine with that too. I just want to, to be able to share what we're doing here. Mikey or Donald, y'all want to explain it? So, I mean, we got people on,
Mike?
or Mike, one of y'all, I mean, I could read everything here, but I think one of y'all's got a synopsis of what we're doing and the property and where it's located and what's occurred.
Yes, sir. I call the
Thank you.
county tax office. I called the county tax office to find out exactly what the taxes that were paid on these properties. And I printed y'all out their information and a county map to show of each lot, what's been paid and what hadn't been paid. The first lot that's closest, the southernmost end of those 4 properties, from Celestial International, they have paid the taxes and the fees that were assessed to that property, and they are current. The other 3 have not paid the taxes or the assessment from the city. And there are a couple, the northern 2 properties have been paid the taxes, not the assessment, by outside entities. But they feel that next year those taxes might be paid, but the assessment won't, so it should go to the state at that point. But that will happen next August in 2024.
I got it. These lots are on North Lane,
Correct.
on the east side of the road.
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure
So
that,
can we set, if they're not owned by the state yet, then can we set hearings for these properties again?
If it's,
I think we've had them already. We don't have to
well,
set
it's within
it.
365 days. We do not have to.
Have to
If we
set another hearing.
adjudicated within a year, and Mike may be able to tell us the date or
So
whatever.
I've been reading the ordinance today, and it looks like if it is a menace, if there are people using the bathroom and there's no plumbing and stuff like that, that we should be able to demolish a shed.
I would love to have guidance before we go out there and knock somebody's property over from our
Can I ask Mike?
legal counsel.
Mr. Mayor, may I ask the code officer for some clarification? When you're talking about 2 of the lots, the taxes were not paid, or they were paid by another entity. You're talking about at a tax sale, someone
Tax sales.
bought it at a tax sale, but it can be redeemed after 3 years.
Yes,
Then the city has some assessments on it for things that we've done.
that they did not pay.
Okay, as I understand, what you're suggesting is what's anticipated is that at the redemption period, the property owner's not gonna be able to redeem it, but the person who bought it is not gonna buy it because they don't wanna pay the taxes and the assessments.
Correct.
At which point it will go to the state, is what you're suggesting?
Right.
Correct.
And
Yeah, I want to make sure, I'm trying to make
that-
sure I understand what window of time we have to do what we think we can do.
That's what I was told from Harrison County tax assessor and the collector. I discussed that with both, and that's what they told me. So I mean, the legal part of it, they might be completely wrong. I don't know that.
Now,
I'm just
part of
telling
that
what
is
they-
contingent upon them speculating that the people who bought it at a tax sale won't pay the assessments and let it go, and that's probably right. 'Cause
Correct.
the taxes were pretty cheap, quite frankly.
Correct.
So they're probably right about that.
so
Okay, thank you.
if we deem it to be unfit and a public nuisance and a danger, which it's all of those things, what's stopping us from just going to, knock it down and assess that to the taxes and just add on to the list? Once it goes to the state would either have to give us permission. If they don't give us permission, we can't touch it. That's part of the ordinance. If it's a state-owned property, we can't do anything without their permission. So we need to get it while somebody still owns it.
So, Mike, is the shed condemned?
There's no public utilities to that shed. It's just a shed.
Okay, but I mean, just because there's no public utilities doesn't mean we can just go knock the dang
Somebody's
thing
living
down.
in it. I can't go live in a house without power and sewer and all that stuff.
If that's the case, let's go knock them apartments
Or
down
we
at the
can have
same
a
time.
petition from a majority of the residents within 400 feet, which I guarantee everybody around there will sign. They've already been here and complained. Let's just do it.
Mr. Attorney.
I'll make the motion to get them here and let's just do it.
Got a substitute motion? Yeah, a substitute motion?
I'm sorry, did you say substitute motion?
No,
Patrick has a substitute motion. We had a
yeah,
motion and a second
like,
for discussion.
From my understanding of reading the ordinance, the board determines if it's a nuisance and all that. I'm personally saying that it is. If the rest of the board agrees, then what do we have to do to move forward with getting it knocked down?
You have to advertise it, put notice on the actual property, attempt to notify the homeowner, have a public hearing, and then do it.
And it's my understanding that we just have to put it in the newspaper for 2 consecutive weeks, and after that, they don't respond.
You
We
also,
move
you also
forward.
have to post it literally on the property
On the
itself.
property with the stake, yes.
That's my motion.
I'll second that.
I'll third it.
All right, we got a motion and a second and a third. Any more discussion?
Mayor, can I,
Yes, sir.
I just want to say something, and I think Chief Seal might back me up on this. If we get the people to come in and sign a petition, the situation that's over there, they might not agree with that.
Right. And I don't think
And
we need
I
that.
feel for the people in that neighborhood. I really do. They deserve to have that cleaned up.
They might not agree with us doing what we
No,
want to do?
they might not agree with signing the petition because
Oh,
of
okay,
the
that's fine.
situation.
We don't have to
Don't
worry
have
about
to.
them.
Okay, and I just want to make that clear. You know, I mean,
I understand.
and I'm
I
for the
understand
people in
the-
that neighborhood.
They're
Don't get me
scared.
wrong.
They're scared to do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're scared of the consequences. But we are going to say my motion is that the board is saying it's a nuisance, it's a danger, it's pretty much all of the above.
All the above.
So let's just
All right, we got a motion and a second. We have any more discussion?
No, sir.
push it down.
All right, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Angie?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes, okay. All right, any opposed? Motion carries.
When you go.
Okay. Next, we have banner placement library for the library for a silent auction. We have a motion and
Motion.
second to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and second to approve. Any discussion?
Just
Hear none.
one small
Good one.
thing, that if it's a city thing, should it be on the record for us approving?
On
But
the
it's the
agenda?
Friends of the Library.
Oh,
for
got
the-
it. That
Yeah,
was,
it's not-
thank
yeah.
you.
It's the-
That's all.
the
I was-
Friends.
Got it.
Friends
Thank
for
you.
the library.
Thank you.
All right. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Angie. Next, we have revised establishment of just compensation offer, Long Beach Rentals, ROW. Motion second discussion.
Motion.
Mr. Page's property.
And this is the
This is the
intersection of Klondike,
southeast.
and this is our MDOT project at the intersection of Klondike and Commission.
It's the southeast corner that we're discussing, which involves the ice machine, the coffee shop, the car lot, and then going east would be up to the storage unit.
Right.
Okay.
So that's
To kind of give everybody
Right.
an idea of what, it's southeast corner.
southeast corner of the intersection of Klondike and Commission. All right. We got a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Had a motion?
Yes, sir. One last, can we get, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, I
Can we
hear you.
get maybe an update on where we stand as far as, because we've approved several of these. After this, maybe at a future, at a
Update on what we've accomplished
at
and where we are.
maybe at the first of the year or whatever, can we just get an update where we stand on this project?
Yeah, I'm meeting with tomorrow with a representative of Pickering.
So
and
let's
that's
just
one of the
put it
things I
out to
wanna know where
January,
we're at.
if we
So
can get
in
an update on
January,
that.
We'll have
Please.
We'll go to Rick and get that full update then.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion?
No,
All
sir.
those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Angie. Motion carries. Yeah, she said aye. Special event app, Val's Property Development, Celebration of Life, motion and a second for discussion.
Motion.
Second discussion.
Thank you.
So is anybody here representing her? First of all, a lot of this goes through my ward, and I am not in favor of this, doing a second line walking or golf cart parade at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, with no police, I think the police escort, but no streets being blocked. It's basically a parade going from the church the St. Thomas Church all the way to Copper Court. That, to me, puts a safety hazard in place. And if it's not from Rex, it's going to be from people cussing the police and everything, because this is a walking parade on Pineville Road at 4 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon is no.
I would concur. I have several concerns. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon as well, Mikey. And then the other concern I have, and council could advise on this, is a part of her application says she's requesting the Board of Aldermen waive the insurance requirement because it's a low hazard event. I'm concerned about that as well. I'm not opposed to something of that nature if she wanted to start it at Harper McCon and walk 3 blocks, but from the distance of St. Thomas Church to Copper Court is ridiculous, in my opinion.
All right, I'd like to make a substitute motion. We deny the application.
Second.
I got a motion in 2 seconds to deny this application. We have any further discussion?
I would hope somebody would call her tomorrow and tell her not to do
Billy?
this, because it is tomorrow afternoon.
Chief, you gonna let her, can you let her know tonight and follow up? Can you let, Ms. Mueller know tonight and follow up in the morning that it wasn't approved?
I'll call her as soon as the meeting's over.
Okay, all right, thank you. I knew you could, knew you would. Appreciate you. All right, so we got a motion and a second, and no more discussion. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. You can let her tell her it was unanimous. All right, ordinance 667, park hours, motion and second for discussion and approval.
Motion.
Got a motion and a
Second.
second, discussion. This resets our limits of time for overnight.
And it
Park.
helps the vagrant issue.
Yes, I was trying. All right, any more discussion?
Roll call vote, please.
All right, I'm gonna have to roll call this.
Wait, one discussion. Will we also be doing, I know this is in the ordinance, but did we also talk about updating signs as well? Or does that not need to be posted any longer?
But I think Bob can take care of that for us,
I
get
will.
the
I'll get
signage.
with the chief, and chief and I will come up with what wording they need to be
Okay.
able to actually
I-
enforce.
and that's what-
That's the problem we're having right now, is there's not, you know.
Park
there's no-
closes at,
They can't do anything without the.
We have no backing and remove them
right,
after they do.
and I knew the ordinance helped us, but I didn't know if we needed the sign as well.
All right. Anything else? All right, no more discussion. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any,
It's an ordinance, we need a roll call.
I know it. I'm
I'm
gonna do
sorry.
it. I'm gonna just let me finish.
Gotcha.
Any opposed, motion carries. Roll call. Patrick?
Aye.
Pete?
Aye.
Donald?
Aye.
Mike? Tim? Thank you. Angie?
Aye.
And Bernie? Aye. All right, thank y'all. All right, next we go to department business, mayor's office. I got a couple things I want to talk about. The first being the 108 Park Row.
Yes.
Yeah, the condemnation of it, but what do we need to do to go ahead and move forward tonight?
To condemn it.
I have one question too. So what is the limit that we can oppose? Looking at it, it's like, is it the $20,000? Is that the limit that we can oppose for us to go in and remove buildings?
I think it is I think that is the maximum amount.
You're talking about to
If we were to go to,
use,
The actual amount or $20,000, whichever is higher.
okay.
Well, what do we need to do to move forward on condemning this building and getting this building taken down?
You need a motion, a second, and a vote to authorize me to initiate condemnation proceedings.
That's my motion.
Second.
got a substitute, no, that'd be the motion, because we hadn't had a motion. So
Okay, that's
that'd
my
be the
motion.
motion and the second discussion. The first thing I want to ask is, Joe, you seen the size of these buildings? You got a backhoe big enough?
Yeah, I don't think it's something we can tear down with the
Wait, you just
equipment
gotta
that we
keep
have
track
now.
of.
So no, I don't believe that we can tear it down with equipment that we have.
I think you can. I've seen y'all working.
We'll put you on a
safety-
land barge.
A safe remove that building.
That's that when the time.
All right, yeah, we'll
And that
talk
might be
about that.
something we'll have to look in, maybe get estimates and see what we're looking at the time.
All right, we'll
can
let
visit.
council,
Can I make one comment?
yes, sure.
In the thinking process, that's not the only one I want something done with on Park Row. So there may be another total building that needs to go.
But I think it has to be taken one property at
Yeah,
a time.
yeah.
I know, but I'm saying in the thought process, be thinking about it, because another one's right behind it.
We just have to be very vigilant when, cost effective when we're looking at this, because
Correct.
this is out of our budget 100%. Not that I disagree, we just have to look at it case by case.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so we got a motion and a second to allow council to move forward with pulling the paperwork together. And we'll have it as soon as he has available, and we'll have it on the agenda. Is there any more discussion?
No, sir.
Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next thing I want to talk about is the drainage. I know we've had 5 inches of rain in about an hour. I was out of town, unfortunately. 6.5. 6.5 from Nash. We appreciate that. What all do we have besides, I know the stadium flooded. Didn't get anybody's house over there on either side, and it drained when the rain quit. I think my point is, if we've put about $10 million last administration and this administration, or a little over that, into repairing drainage and fixing and improving drainage. And I'd like, our engineer and our previous board, this board, they've committed to improving our drainage. And we, as far as we've had reported to us as officials, Facebook talking to each other and saying they flooded, they didn't talk to us about it, so we can't put it down and tell FEMA about it or anybody else that could possibly help with it. But I think we've done a lot of work and a lot of improvement on drainage. I think, our public works employees have worked hard. All of our employees, when they're out and about, our police, our fire, and driving, they see a ditch that's filled with oak leaves or whatever, trash, whatever, going into the inlet, they call it in so Public Works can get out there and get it cleared up. They worked on that. That's something we implemented in the last administration, and believe it or not, something simple as that helps us with drainage. So I just want to mention, thank y'all so much for your commitment to getting the drainage flowing like it has. So the next thing I have is Bob Paul, and I'm sure you had a lot of work from Public Works. Unfortunately, again, I was out of town, personal reasons, and the lighting at Town Green is exceptional again. It's a great place to walk through, especially like a night like tonight where you can see the lights, you can enjoy it with your family, and the Sea Santa celebration. Sheldon, I was out of state, but I was praying. I kept watching the weather and praying that it would get passed, and I didn't have as good a connection as I thought I did, but I got it by about 3 o'clock, so y'all can go ahead and have the parade. But thank you for every year.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, as soon as I get through.
Okay.
Time's up.
Thank you for what you did and everybody else involved. If you would thank those who are behind the scenes working on this. There's a lot of people involved, and these are private citizens in Long Beach that get out there and get involved and put this together. They're doing things to help improve our city and make it a friendly family atmosphere is all. All right, Angie, go. I'm through.
Well, I'd like to say Bob Paul and his department started with me that morning at 6:30. During that rain, I held the annual 5K Fred Walker Memorial Race. So his people were down there in the rain helping me set up, which we did thankfully get to do at 9 o'clock, and our money goes to seniors. But I would like to personally thank Bob Paul and Sherry for being out there in the rain helping us.
That's right. And Angie, I didn't realize you was down there, but I'd like to thank you personally too for being down there representing all of us. But I think that, you know, and I know where you're coming from. There was a lot going on that morning. We have an annual run at that time, Fred Walker Jingle Bell Run, and usually we have beautiful weather for it to do, and it's a hard decision, you know, on making the call. And right now, we lack the ability to make the call of allowing it going on or not allow it to continue. And a lot of people reach out to us throughout the days when, you know, we having finally First Friday, it rained this morning, you know, things like that. And fortunately, that's a city sponsor, and we could call it or not call it. But this is a private event, and we can't call it. It has to be the event organizers that calls off or allow us to continue. So if y'all got mad at Angie because she couldn't stop it, that's the reason why. And Angie, again, thank you for being there.
You're welcome.
All right, that's all I have. Personnel, we have nothing. City clerk office, we have zero, nothing. Fire department, chief, you got anything? No, sir. All right, police chief?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Engineering, we have 3 items. Edmond subdivision, water system improvements. Motion and second for approval and discussion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Okay, I got 3 seconds, so we almost got a majority now. David, you want to, I mean, we got the letter here, the discussion on this. Do y'all have any questions of David? Because we're talking about adding an additional cost that's for repairs or replacement of some existing drainage infrastructure that is faulty and falling apart, and we're talking about a $58,000 additional cost.
This is out of water and sewage?
It's a water project. I don't know if we normally have budget for drainage or if that needs to come out of water. That's,
I believe that the drainage is going to have to be removed to put the water system in.
Okay.
all right,
And this is.
there you go. Sounds like it should be impacting the water budget.
Drainage is infected, the water is impacting the water system, the new water system, as I understand.
Yeah, we can't go over the top of it.
Right. So we need to repair that while we're there, and whatever we need to replace, remove, move, relocate, whatever. No?
I remove my question.
It's been answered. All right, any more discussion? We've got a motion and second to approve. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Angie. Motion carries. Next, we have North Nicholson Sewer Service. A motion and second for approval.
Motion.
Second. All right, discussion. Anybody got discussion on this?
Discussion, please.
Yes, sir.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, under the conditions on number 3, possibly a check valve, I would recommend that we require the check valve. We have a road that has these grinder pumps on Ward 4 that the city has had to go put in check valves at the city right of way. So I think it'd be in the city's best interest to go ahead and have them place these.
Okay, that's easily done.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. What the recommendation to the city engineer is that we allow them to use the private grinder stations. They'll be connecting to our existing city main of 2 inches. The private connectors to the city force main, as Tim has recommended, will be located within the private property. Is that what he?
We'll have a connection at the right-of-way and a cast iron meter box similar to a water meter connection, but we'll require them to put a check valve
there.
at that point.
At that point. Okay, I misunderstood what you're saying. Okay, that's included in this. And the city will take no ownership or responsibility for the installation, operation, or maintenance of the private grinder station serving each parcel forever. All right? That's what it reads. Got a motion and second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we have test pile program, geotechnical testing and analysis. Motion and second for discussion.
So move.
Second. Discussion.
I've got a question. David, the question's been posed to me, and when I don't have an answer, I have to relay that question on to you. It's my understanding that the company that is doing the test piling is Automobile.
The geotechnical firm is located in Mobile, yes, sir. They do have or they used to have an office here in Long Beach. I'm not sure if they still do, but they are also the firm that has done all of the geotechnical analysis and the recommendations for the structural design. They've done the geotechnical testing on the previous test piles that we done, and so it seemed very sensible to me to continue to use them for this process.
And was that due to a bidding process that they were the low bidder on, or you just
For
select
engineering
them?
services, bidding is not only not required, it's not allowed. It is a qualifications-based service. The historical information that they have really gives a lot of credence to their qualifications
What
in this
company
case.
is it?
I'm sorry?
What company?
Southern Earth Sciences.
I think, is it on Railroad, their office?
It was.
It was. I'm not sure if they still have a functional office there, but their main office is in Mobile, as far as I understand.
I just, like I said, the question was posed to me, and I
Understood.
yield to you for an answer.
Okay.
Okay. We've got, what we're asking for is a contract not to exceed $49,800, and we may be able to streamline this a little bit more, streamline reduction later on as we move forward with it.
That'll be dependent on really getting the contractor who's doing the test piles to streamline his process and do multiple piles at one time, and we'll be working towards that.
It's not only him, but it's also the fabricator.
It is, absolutely. Yes, sir.
We got two people we depend on to help us save money.
Yes, sir.
See how that goes. All right, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Next, we have Public Works Equipment Purchase Request. This is, I need a motion and second for discussion and approval.
Second.
We got a motion and second for discussion and approval. Any discussion?
Just big enough to put the debris from that building in?
A wrecking
We'll be happy to
ball?
visit it. If that's y'all's intentions, we'll be happy to visit.
That's why we said we thought you could do it.
Okay.
This 3-yard dump body will help.
I love the faith. I love the faith.
There you go. All right, we've got an additional cost. The truck, we had bid, what was it, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? The new dump truck, we got the price, what we had anticipated of $75,000 would be the truck and the bed. It only bought the truck. We got to get a bid now, and the additional cost is $12,700, and you got the money for this in the budget?
Yes, sir. We do have it in sewer and water. It's a sewer water vehicle.
Like to see more confidence in that answer.
Yes, sir.
So the money is there. I verified it for you. I just want
That's
you to
right.
know.
She holds the big checkbook.
There is funds.
So I'll just make the comment of the money that's paid for these trucks, tractors and all are paid back to the city, not through dollars, but through the work.
Absolutely.
And it's well worth it every time. And Joe does an excellent job making sure that we get every last heartbeat out of these vehicles. So that's where I stand on this.
I appreciate that, Donald. That's true. Our guys do a great job under Joe's leadership. All right, any more discussion? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carries. Recreation, Bob, you have anything?
Very good, thank you.
Okay. Courtney had to leave, and we've got something for 3 days here in Long Beach, and I just lost what it was. Y'all have to forgive me. I still have chemo brain fog, and I apologize. It'll be back one day, I surely hope, but she was talking.
On the Avenue on Saturday at the Town Green, and there were 2 other functions that she had mentioned this morning.
You sit too close to me in the department head meeting this morning. You caught what I got.
Same situation as you are, so.
Okay, so I think it's more or less that our local businesses are gonna be open and having more opportunities and, things going on, and I'm gonna tell Courtney she can't move again, because we can't remember for her.
God, she can remember that stuff.
Yeah, so, all right, Mike, building office,
We're good, thank you.
okay. Harry?
We're good.
All right, thank you, Dave, I appreciate it. Community affairs, that would have been Courtney. Derelict properties, we have none. Council, you have anything for us on the city attorney?
Sir, Mayor.
All right, hearing that, need a motion and
We
second.
do have, Courtney didn't say, but we do have Christmas market this Saturday here in town.
I think
That's what he
she
was
told
asking.
me.
Yeah.
That was what I was.
Absolutely.
And did you get Miss Emma? She always hates if you skip over her.
Yeah, Emma, before I adjourn, did you have anything you'd like to share?
Okay, thank you.
All right, brother.
Okay, all right, to our two aldermen on the phone lines, do y'all have anything before we?
No, their time, their
Y'all
time's
done.
up. As I
Motion
said.
is-
We're
Second to
done. Thank
adjourn?
you.
Motion. Got a second to adjourn?
No.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, motion carries. Thank y'all. Thank